This whole presentation is some thoughts that I have on the current state of indie VTubing. This is from a person who has only really been VTubing for like the last year. Obviously, please take everything I say with a grain of salt. So all of this kind of stemmed from this Twitter post that I saw. This is by Nemo Nevermore. Oh my goodness. This was a quote tweet in response to a YouTube video that Ludwig made where he tried to stream on a new account and he didn't stop streaming until he had someone chat in his chat for the first time, which took about 5 hours. So very bleak on starting out streaming for the first time. Washed up ex Corpo VTuber here with her hot take. It's crazy to think about how I streamed on Twitch for 2 years with 10 CCV on a good day. I somehow got hired into a Corpo, and now even though I'm not a Corpo anymore, the only reason you're seeing this tweet from Nemo Nevermore is because I was in a VTuber company. Had I never joined a Corpo, I would have given up and faded into obscurity back in 2013 or 2023. I said 2013. I feel for all the Twitch indies because trying to make schedules, plan collabs, make friends as an indie VTuber on Twitch is so soul-crushing when you have no friends or connections with anybody else in the VTubing scene. Take it from me, who literally tried and just gave up and started applying to companies because it was so hard to make VTuber friends. And it really sucked to keep putting out content that I was excited about, but only a handful of people in the entire world were able to see it, half of which were just bots or two of my leak friends giving me a pity lurk view. Because again, getting out there without connection yourself, without discoverability from the platform is really, really, really hard, painful, and difficult. It feels easier just to try to join a Corpo for the free friend group. I always see people giving this advice to stream on Twitch. Only reach out to other content creators similar size to you because they're more likely to collab with you. And at the end of the day, I don't know if I agree. Because if a 10 CCV streamer collabs with another 10 CCV streamer, all you're doing is wearing both of your small and it's even thinner. I think the real way to get popular as a VTuber is someone randomly clips you and pulls up on Twitter/YouTube. A bigger creator shouts you out and features you. Do something controversial that people either hate you or love you for. Join a Corpo and get a free friend group and a free extended social circle. Get insanely lucky by joining a VTuber company, one that doesn't put you on a medieval torture device, and the nanosecond you lift your hand off the signing contract. Not sure if one exists. And for the VTuber Andes, throw money at ads to inflate your sub count so people think you're more popular than you actually are. But it doesn't sound like a lot nicer to pretend making it is all hard work and effort. If you collab enough with 10 CCV people like yourself, you'll blow up eventually. I think it feels more about luck, who you know, how much money you're willing to throw around, and how good of a character you're willing to play in order to rise to the top. And I mean, it's not really a problem necessarily on its own. It just feels like the shit to be peddled a lie. You just basically need to pull yourself up the bootstraps and grind harder. When it feels like the real pathway to popularity as a streamer or VTuber is 99% luck, LOL. And I'm saying this as someone who benefited from this very same luck. CTV means concurrent views. So this specifically stood out to me because even though I'm not particularly a big VTuber, literally all of the things that they listed here is nothing I did. None of these things happened to me. So I feel like I was really interested in kind of going over it from my perspective on how I managed to get to this point and get past, the early stages of VTubing within just a year. And I also want to kind of not necessarily denounce, but kind of debunk the pessimism from this post, because there is a way. It's not all doom and gloom as it seems. It's not all luck, genuinely. I mean, I'm not going to deny that there is luck, and I talk about it. Am I lucky? Yes. So I technically started streaming back in 2020, but obviously I didn't stream. I don't really like to count this because I didn't stream. Over on this side, though, is where I started streaming. This is the point where I decided that I was going to start streaming. This is September. This is right here. This is August, I think. The red is hours streamed and the green is our average viewers. So this is my Twitch tracker. I went from an average of 9 viewers back in September of 2024 all the way to 55 average of August of last month. This is partially luck, yes. I will admit my specific journey has been extremely fast to get to this point, but it's also not just luck. It is luck. And that is the truth. Like I say here, it's also not, because there's a million other reasons why we got to this point, which are branding. Branding is such an unbelievably important part of VTubing that some people just kind of ignore that fact. They think, oh, I have a model. Oh, I have my character design. That's good. That's all I really need. But that's not it. Your social media posts need to fit your branding. Your Discord needs to fit your branding. Your merch, your panels, your overlays, your banners, your icons, your model. Because when people see this stuff, this is what they're going to think. If they see a picture of you out in the wild, they're gonna be like, oh, that's that person. If someone saw whether or not it's my my overlay without even me in it, whether or not it's my banners, even if I'm not in it, even if my branding isn't in it, my theming. So even though I am technically a ghost virus VTuber, which is technically a part of my branding, but that's where most people stop. And in actuality, what matters as well is what you present yourself as. So obviously you're not going to I don't act like a ghost virus. I'm myself, but I am a pixel artist. So I have a pixel model, which is extremely unique. And I'm a Windows 98 VTuber, which I brand all of my stuff around. I keep everything branded as Windows 98 or adjacent. I've like hard associated with being a pixel VTuber and a Windows 98 VTuber. And my specific overlay as well, I'm committing to it extremely hard. People don't look at me like, oh, that's the ghost virus. People see me as the pixel model Windows 98 VTuber. That's what people see me as. And then when it comes to thinking about your own branding, what are you? And is there someone like you? Let's say you're a Sakura Kitsune, which is extremely popular. Of course, there's not going to be other people like you, but you have to find a niche within that. So let's say like you're a Sakura Kitsune who specifically loves to cook, and your entire branding is that one pink animal VTuber who does cooking streams. So you have to think about like, are you this person? What do you do? Is there someone that does stuff like you? And if there's yes to all of them, then you might need to think of something else. So, and that also applies to, like I was talking about, it's not just your overlays as well. It's a big part. I won't lie. It is extremely important, but at the same time, you have all of these things. It's the way you present yourself, not just on your streams, it's the whole package. Because think about it, like, how do you find someone? You don't normally find them by just browsing Twitch. It happens. Trust me, it happens. But you find them through social media. You find them through on YouTube videos. You find someone has your merch. You find them on Twitter, or you see like a picture of them just randomly at some point. You have to like think about the fact that like people aren't just going to find you for your streams. People are going to find you in like a million different other ways as well. So here's a bunch of examples of what I'm talking about. Behind me, sorry, I'm blocking it, but behind me it says giving your community a reason to keep coming back, which applies to this, but it also applies to what I was talking about earlier. You see how everything I have is the same color scheme. It has pixel motifs. For my announcement posts, you can tell this is me. I have my Windows 98 stuff. I have my color scheme. I have a silhouette of my model. I have the dates and stuff. Even the font is pixelated because this is my theme. I keep in the theme here too. I have my Windows 98. This is for my subathon. Down here is my merchandise, which is keeping within my branding. These are all things for people to look forward to. And that's why I made this post the other day. This is gets cut off here, but it says create the free things for your community. I made you guys a little puppet that you guys could make. I have you guys free wallpapers, and merchandising is also a part of branding as well, which I think is really important. Like I was talking about, not even just like the theme, but just having it in general. And I made this post to show people you do not need to affiliate yourself with the company. You do not need to affiliate yourself with any sort of brand or learn how to like make physical merch yourself. You can do so many things for your community for free. And I think this is like a big part of why a lot of people keep coming back to me, is because I not only stream for you guys, but I also give you guys a lot of things, not only just to support me, but to show off your appreciation. There's so many things that you could be doing for your community that like a lot of people don't even like think about. I feel like people just like kind of give up. They look at merchandising like on like websites like this where you need to affiliate yourself with. They think like, oh, I need to be a big VTuber to have merch. No, you do not. Anyone can do this. Anyone can give your community free wallpapers. You have a commissioned wallpaper or drawing that you got a while ago that you're not really using for anything. Give it to your community to use as a wallpaper. If you have like art talent or art ability, or if you have the funds to do it, commission someone to make something like this, whether it's like a little standee that you can make with like a cardboard, whether it's this little dangling thing that I came up with. There's so many things that you could be doing that I think a lot of people kind of just like forget about, because either they feel like they can't do anything, so they give up, or they only see like you know, like the big physical merch instead of like, oh, what can I possibly do? So we're gonna go to this one. So this kind of ties into what I was talking about, using your skills. Are you an editor? Are you an artist? Are you a rigger? Play into what you're good at. This behind me, it says money helps but doesn't buy everything. But so my particular skills is as an artist. So what I am able to do is I'm able to make my own models. I'm able to make art for you guys. I'm able to create little crafts and projects for you guys to do and support me. But I'm not a very good editor. I'm an absolutely terrible editor. So I have somebody else do that for me. But there's some people out there who have skills and things that I'm not good at, and they can use that to their advantage. So for me, I can't edit a video for shit. I have to outsource that. But there's some people out there who are really, really good at editing videos, and you can use that as a part of your branding. So for example, if you are like really good at editing videos, you can make a lot of your content around videos. So things that I can't really do because I'm not very good at them. So I make my content around art and my art ability and giving you guys things for art. You can use your skills to help you in areas that would normally cost you money. So I'm using my skills in my art like section. Something that's extremely important as well is you need to love what you're doing. If you do not love what you're doing, you need to stop and rethink everything. Because if you're finding yourself burning out, if you're finding yourself not enjoying the thing that you set out to do because you knew that you would love streaming and VTubing, then I think you genuinely need to take a moment and rethink and reassess yourself. Am I doing something that is making me happy? And if I'm not, then what can I do to remedy that? So for example, if I'm doing content that I wouldn't enjoy, I probably wouldn't even be here. But I love doing art. I love talking so much. There's some people who don't even like talking and just like to like kind of chill and play games. I'm not really a gamer. If I just sat here and played games all day, I probably wouldn't have fun VTubing. My joy in VTubing is interacting and chatting and talking and teaching you guys things that I really like about VTubing and doing art, which is something I absolutely love. Like VTubing literally rekindled my joy for doing art again. And I think finding something that fills you with confidence and something that you enjoy and you feel like you're gaining something really good out of it is super important. And I think a lot of people tend to kind of force themselves to do something that they don't really want to do. And I think that's a part of the reason people get really burnt out. So now we're going to be moving on to the big one. You know, knowing people who are bigger than you does help. I'm not going to deny it. It's important. It is. But you do not need to know them before you start. In the first post, it talked about in here, because of a 10cc streamer collabs with another 10cc streamer, all you're doing is wearing both of your small audiences thinner. I do not agree with this. I definitely don't. Like, maybe if you're collabing with the same people over and over and over again, but the whole point of collabing is to branch out. Because when you're on 10ccv, any amount of people who find you and come back is the most important thing ever. I think this kind of like attitude towards like small streamers like and their communities don't matter, because they do. It doesn't matter how many people are in those communities. Having people find out who you are is the most important thing ever. Whether it's 10ccv, 5ccv, it doesn't matter. Because at the same time too, you can't be collaborating with everybody, which sucks. If you're looking to specifically grow, you do have to kind of pick and choose who you collaborate with. You can collaborate with anyone you want if you don't really care. But if you're trying to specifically grow, you need to collaborate with people who have been or are in the same niche as you. So for example, if I collaborate with, I'm trying to think of somebody completely random. I don't know, let's say Corone. So for example, obviously I'm gonna get a lot of people who come to my streams, but I am not a gamer. People watch Corone to be a gamer. We have completely different vibes, first of all. Second of all, communities. And third of all, I don't do the same things that she does. Because I think a lot of people's issues is that they stream with streamers who do not mesh with you in the sense of their communities are nothing like yours. And I think that's a lot of like people's like issues. Like they'll stream with someone who like is like bigger than them and they won't see like a turnout. And like, of course, those people aren't catered to your kind of content. They're catered to that person's content. And then of course, there's corpos. Corpos recently have been kind of in the negative light of Vtubing, obviously recently. So there's a lot of issues there, of course. Corpos are not the answer, but like Nemo was talking here, the whole reason they made it and they felt like they were able to like keep on going was because they were a part of a corpo. And the unfortunate reality is you will 100% get more eyes on you if you do join a corpo. I mean, that's just how it is. When you're affiliated with a company, you're going to have like a higher chance of people like learning about you. But that doesn't mean that you need to join a corpo. It's not a must. You never need to. Obviously it'll help, but you have to be careful because of how predatory a lot of them have been recently. And even Nemo acknowledges that in their post. I think what the most important thing, like takeaway from all of this is, yes, there are points where Nemo is correct. Yes, there's so much luck involved in VTubing. Yes, there is. You will have a higher chance if you join a corporation. Yes, you will have a higher chance of succeeding if you collab with bigger creators. But there's what I'm trying to convey is there's so many things that you can do to reach genuine success. I have not been fully successful just yet. I'm really proud of where I've gotten to. I'm not gonna like put down my achievements. I'm extremely proud. And I feel like I've worked really hard and done like a lot of like things and fun events for my community and to grow. And I've met some of like the coolest people I've ever met in my entire life in this last year. But in the end, you do have to just love what you do. And I do love what I do. And I feel like if you don't realize that things are going to take a lot of work, and sometimes for some people, unfortunately, it's going to take a lot more work. I think putting a post out like this to the community, yes, you are technically right, but at the same time, I wonder how many people who could have been some of the biggest VTubers read this and realized, oh, well, what's the point then? I just won't even try. And I think we need to send out a more positive message, but not positive in like the sense that you're sugarcoating everything. Yes, it's going to be hard, but there's so many things that you could be doing. And that's what I'm kind of like wanting to talk with you guys about, because there's nothing wrong with making posts like this, but at the same time, I feel like instead of the entire post just being doom and gloom, success can happen if you do work hard. It's not all shit. It's not all going to go into the gutter. All your time is not going to go to waste. There's things that you can do. And even if you don't end up doing all of those things, and even if you end up failing in the end, you should be trying your best to like have fun at least. Yeah, that is my presentation from a VTuber who's extremely underqualified to be talking about any of this stuff.
Fine. I guess you are my little bite champ. Come here.